I started setting up my tent and I forgot that I was making a video because it's been a long time since I've made like a travel vlog. I was like, oh, probably should get the camera. So I'm out in Terra Nova today with my Uncle Paul, who is a photographer and he also loves camping. And we've been kind of planning this trip for the last year. We talked about doing this and we got a good weather window, so we decided to go out. It was supposed to be 2 nights, ended up being 1 night, but we still had a really great time anyway.
I just want to get a couple of pictures of the old fart putting his tent up. Name, Paul Nickel. What I do? Nothing. I'm retired. I've been shooting 30 years. At 7 years old, I went into a dark room. I loved it. I could care less about taking pictures. And then I hit a point when I realized I had to take my own pictures. That was in 1962, and this is 2023. There was one break. For 20 years, I didn't do a thing. And I was off trying to be a rock and roll star or something or whatever, or a lunatic on a motorcycle. And then I got back at it again after.
Tent is set up. So I'm using the REI SL3 Plus dome tent. It's a 3-person dome tent, but it really fits 2 comfortably. But I'm sleeping in it solo tonight without Chris. I've kind of got some luxuries with me. I got like my wool blanket, my nice sleep-in bag, so we're gonna have a nice little cozy setup in there. But Paul's lent me his camp cot, but I'm just looking at it, I don't think it's gonna fit in the tent. Shout out to Dan Becker. This is the coolest pump I've ever used. Yeah, so we're doing a little bit of camping and photography. We drove 2 hours and 40 minutes to come out here to Terra Nova for 1 night. But it's gonna be a good time because we're gonna go taking pictures and camping, 2 of my favorite things. So because I was coming all the way to Newfoundland for this camping trip, I didn't bring a lot of my stuff, including my big camping pillow that I usually use, but I was at Walmart and I found a travel pillowcase and travel pillowcase liner, and I had a bunch of extra stuffing left over from a nice pillow that I bought for our actual bedroom. I made my own pillow and I slept on it over the weekend and it is amazing. So that's it. So good. Would you bring the whole palace?
Royalty, hey?
Yeah.
Royalty.
You can stand up in this thing.
I got my LED lantern.
He's got like a full-on bed, like a cot, all of it.
I just can't take this. I'm a risk taker. I always was. That's the reason I walk the way I walk, because I got fed up taking risks. I had a motorcycle accident 38 years ago, and I destroyed my knees, left lower leg, my left side pelvis and hip were destroyed, and I have since broken my left side 3 times. Just falling, I just break. Very limited in distance walking. Sometimes I don't walk well at all, and other times if pain is low, I have no problem. A reasonable hike, say a 6-kilometer hike, will take me off my feet, mostly about 3 days. I've been living in pain for all my life. It's not a big deal as such. It stops me from momentarily. It doesn't stop me from enjoying life. You only get 1 kick at this cat. You may as well take advantage of it as much as you can.
So you got gloves on?
Yeah, I use the gloves because of my handicap. I can fall, and I want to make sure I don't damage my hands where I play guitar. So it sounds corny, but that's where it is for me. They keep my hands together when I'm falling.
We're going on a small little hike. I don't know where we are. Paul's leading the way. He's been here a million times. This is my 2nd time ever being to a campground, which is kind of exciting. And the Newfoundland woods is like my favorite place because I love the old black spruce. I think they look gnarly. Some people don't like them who live here. They think they look like shit, but I tend to like them and I like the way they smell. Ooh, this is pretty.
If you don't like this, there's something wrong with you. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. This is the beginning of Newman Sound, the bay, the salt water right here. And it's going to move into a freshwater river. We'll run the edge of that. I'll try to pick up the speed.
It's been a little bit of time since I've made a vlog like this, and I'm struggling a little bit to remember how to do this.
I drive people nuts. I'm so slow. I love it. It's worked in my favor because most people go out with the camera, they're impatient, so they just go, oh, well, I got to take a picture of this, I got to take a picture of that. They're hoping for a picture. I can't do that. All my effort is used up getting there. I will survey a place and see, is there an actual shot worth even trying?
He's after spotting a wild tree.
It's a special tree. It is so special. Well, I wanted to give it a shallow depth of field, moved up a bit tighter on us, shot a panorama. We'll see what that looks like. Or we won't. We'll find out.
how would you describe your style of photography?
I don't know. Eclectic.
What is it about trees?
No back talk. I love nature. I'm not worried about making pretty pictures, although I have pretty pictures. I shoot things that I like, the way I like, and that's it. I like landscape, woods, or just straight up oddity. Dead stuff, alive stuff, something in between, I don't care. If it looks good to me, I gotta take a picture of it. Do bird photography. I don't know the name of the birds. I'm never gonna remember it. I don't care. I just love taking pictures of things, anything, and trying to make it the best that I can possibly do.
We'll come to a place like this and he'll be like, oh, look at that tree. And you're like, there's 100 trees here. And he'll sit down and he'll shoot it. And he'll come away with the most amazing photo, and he just sees stuff the way that like nobody else sees it. And he's shooting things, it's not just one picture, it's like focus stacked image or a panorama or a long exposure, or it's like 10 images stitched together or blended or whatever. So every single one of his photos, for the most part, is more than just a picture. If you actually look at it and analyze it, there's something to it, there's like some depth to it that you don't get with just like one image. Something I've always appreciated about Paul and his photography is that he don't care. He'll sit down for 2 hours for one picture and he will dedicate the time getting it, and it's always a banger. I'm not wrong.
I try. I don't know if I'm successful, but I try. Because I'm so slow, I actually become methodical in everything I do. Setting up the camera, taking the shot, checking for a secondary. While you're stopped watching everything, well, you know, getting your composition down, you start to see other things. That's when it opens up to you. You can see stuff that everyone has been in such a rush to get a picture that they miss the pictures. My few friends that go with me, they say that their photography is better because I slow them down. They gotta wait for me, and in doing so, they start to see stuff. When you're walking by fast, you don't see anything. When you're walking by desperately slow, you become more acute to your surroundings. If you go out and you don't give a shit about time and enjoy the moment, you'll generally get better pictures. Keep in mind, it's as good as you can do. You know, everybody has a different eye. It's nice to look at other people's work. On occasion, you can be envious. Most of the time, just you can either learn from it or just accept it. That's that person's vision, and they did a really good job of it. And that's what I try to do. Any day I'm out, I try to do a good job of my photography. It might not be the best thing I've done that week, that year, doesn't matter. Just put my effort into it. I take a whole lot less than anybody else and do manage to get some reasonably good shots. Trying to find some kind of an anchor point. If this works, I'm looking at the rocks in the water. So I put a polarizer on so that they show through. There is an observation platform there. I guess I can take it out. I'm not sure if I will, because I kind of like leaving things as I see them. So I'm as comfortable in Photoshop as I am can't say walking. I'm as comfortable in Photoshop as I am with anything, but I just choose not to.
You're a purist.
I guess, yeah, in a weird sort of way. Like I love my long exposures, my stacks and all the rest of it, but it's of that subject. I don't want to deviate from that. Everybody sets their rules, their own rules. I want to take a picture of a subject, make it the best that I can possibly do. Whether that's better or not of someone else's work, I don't care. It's just the best I can do, and I'm quite content with that.
One of my favorite photos, Paul, of yours still to this day is that Arizona lightning picture. Your like photos from Arizona were like the reason why I want to go to Arizona so bad.
I don't have to get motivated. If there's something I can do, that is it. It's an adventure, back to that part. And so if I go someplace it's sketchy, I'll size up how can I get through it without having to call for assistance or a helicopter or whatever. And it adds to it. For me, it might not be a big deal for you to walk over a series of large boulders. For me, I'm literally mountain climbing. It's the adventure. That's what draws me into it. It's a hunt. Look, that whole thing looks kind of nice there.
Yeah.
Just to grab a shot.
I wish there was smell-o-vision so that you could smell what we are smelling right now. It is phenomenal.
It's so peaceful. You just get the odd yellow legs earlier, just chirping.
For this trip, I'm trying out a new backpack. This is the Wandered. It's not called Fernway. It's called Fernway, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but anyway, they sent it to me, so thank you, Wandered. More of like a hybrid camera bag slash backpacking style bag. So it fits a camera cube in it, but you can put your tripod, your hiking poles, you can put your whole sleep system in it. It's got a hydration pack sleeve, which is really cool. So we're gonna be hiking out to a place where Chris and I will be kind of like backpacking overnight, taking pictures next week. And that's originally why I got this bag. But it's really comfortable actually I got a lot of weight in it here today. And it's got really robust straps and a good chest strap and a good waist strap. So we'll see how it goes on a longer hike. But so far I really like it.
I'm looking for something interesting. Tree trunks.
A rare stump catches his eye.
Yeah, there's no picture. I just find it interesting, all these things.
We're in the woods now, buddy.
When it gets 2 stops dark.
Yep.
I use up so much energy getting to these places that I only have enough energy to shoot 2 to 6 images.
I've been harassing Paul to start a YouTube channel about his like journey with his disability and photography. The places that he gets himself. Yeah, just really interesting photos, the things he sees. It's just really cool. Sometimes it's just good to get out with the camera, even if you don't get any pictures at all. But the exercise of getting out, even if you're just making a video too, if the video maybe isn't your best work or whatever, it's just good to get out.
I just like that shot. It's very simple. Nature's gradient.
He talks to himself a lot when he's shooting.
Yeah, I do.
He's gonna take the 70 to 200 and he's gonna zoom right in on the nature's gradient and get almost a macro shot. Artsy shot. He's gonna punch me in the face. Sharp as a tacker, wah! Nature's like flower pot.
Is it gonna make it to the cover of National Geographic? No. Yeah. It'll be something I can look back at and say, that's pretty cool. Tree trunks. They're staggered. And it just struck me that if I take a shallow depth of field shot, I can exaggerate the staggered look and give it a almost 3D type of look. So that became my interest. Anyone else, if I said there's a picture there, it's like, you're kidding. But there is, for me. Does anyone else like it? Probably not. I don't care. I try to get it as good as I can anytime I'm out. It doesn't have to be better than the last one. The bangers, as you refer to them, they'll come when they come. You can't go looking for them. You can manufacture them, I suppose, if you push hard enough. It's not the exercise of going through the process. It's a heavy part of the photography for me.
That'll be well deserved now there tonight, won't it?
Yeah.
Well earned.
Yeah, what a hike.
Yeah.
I will sleep well tonight, for sure.
It's now bedtime. There's power at this campsite and my dad let me borrow his heated blanket. So it's in the sleeping bag, getting nice and toasty. Really one of the most comfortable nights so far ever camping. So I'm gonna go to bed. We'll see you in the morning for coffee.
If you say, well, there's nothing to shoot or I don't feel like it today, that should be your motivation. Get out and shoot, and go out and shoot anything. You don't have to have a reason. The reason will come to you. I'm sitting at home, I'm 5 days, haven't taken a shot, haven't done a damn thing. I gotta grab the camera, I gotta go outside, load up the camera bag, and where am I going? I don't care. I've been down to that path last week, I'll go there again. And I start the hunt all over. At first, you're walking along, you don't see anything. When you're getting frustrated, take the camera out and take a picture of something. You gotta take advantage of stuff. It sounds corny, but it is real. I'm more afraid of doing nothing than doing something and failing or falling. Doing nothing is just not an option.
Wisdom, words of wisdom as we pack down our camp.
So this is the hard part of it. There's only a problem when I fall over. If I have a hard fall, I'm into the hospital. That's it. And in the woods is good because if you fall, you generally fall on soft ground. I was snowmobiling, I snapped my knee off. I had to drive myself out with a broken leg. I fell going down taking pictures of eagles, and I just slipped and I split my femur. Then the last one I did, I walked out the door to put my snowshoes on at the end of the driveway, and halfway down the driveway I slipped and snapped it off. And that was a fairly involved operation. I can tell you war stories. I got lots of them.
The balls of steel, this man. Breaks a f***ing leg on a snowmobile, drives himself out.
Yeah, I know. I seem to have a reputation for that one.
We're pretty much ready to hit the road. I thought that camping in Newfoundland was going to be horrific. I never camped in my home province ever, like besides a backyard sleepover, until this trip. And both camping trips so far have been pleasantly surprising. Comfortable overnight weather, no wind. Is it always like this?
The mood, the enjoyment, yes. The weather, well, we don't care. I love camping.
Great night camping. Thanks, Paul, for being in our video and hanging out. Always a good time.
Thanks for going camping.
Literally anytime. I freaking love camping so much. We're gonna have to make this like a tradition. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next weekend for another one.
My R6 Canon.
So Paul bought these cots used off Facebook Marketplace, and he hasn't used them yet. What did you find that left oily stains on your bed?
It's sultry strawberry flavored lubricant. It's not mine, I can guarantee you. I can't believe it. Oh, I guess I won't bring it back to her.
Thankfully for him, the second one that we brought does not fit in my tent, so he has a backup.
Oh God. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better story.
True. Like nothing smells like this.
No, definitely not. Strawberries. We're gonna beat that to death.
What a surprise that strawberry lube was in the camp cot.
Gloves come off easier.
Was that because you didn't wash your hands after setting up your camp cot, or?
No, this stuff is too good.
Tell me to f*** off if you don't want the camera in your face.